The text came at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. Emily felt her phone buzz against her thigh under the conference table. She knew who it was before she looked. She always knew. Michael, tonight? Same place? She typed back, can't. Deadline. Then deleted it. Typed maybe 8? Deleted that too. Sent yes. She has done this 40, maybe 50 times now. The texting under tables. The deleting. The yes when she means I shouldn't but I will anyway. Across from her, Janet from HR is talking about Q3 projections. Emily nods at the right moments. She has gotten very good at seeming present when her mind is somewhere else entirely. The affair, she hates that word, but that is what it is, started 6 months ago. Not the way people think these things start. There was no grand seduction. No calculated plan. It started the way most mistakes start. Slowly. Then all at once. They were assigned to the same project. A rebrand for a client that kept changing their mind about everything. Late nights became normal. The office at 9 p.m. with bad coffee and good conversation. Michael made her laugh. That was the first problem. He talked about books she had read. Music she loved. He remembered small things she said in passing. He asked follow-up questions. When you spend your 20s dating men who listen to respond, not to understand, someone who actually pays attention feels like finding water in a desert. She knew he was married. He wore the ring. He mentioned Sarah, his wife, in the past tense, like she was someone he used to know well but had slowly become a stranger to. He never said I'm going to leave her. He said things like we barely talk anymore and I can't remember the last time we laughed together, and sometimes I think we're just going through the motions. Emily heard, the marriage is already over. What he meant was, I am lonely and I want you to make me feel wanted without requiring me to change anything about my life. She did not hear that part until much later. The first time they kissed was after the client finally approved the rebrand. The whole team went out for drinks. Most people left by 11. Emily and Michael stayed. He walked her to her Uber. She does not remember who leaned in first. She remembers thinking this is a terrible idea and kissing him anyway. She remembers him pulling back and saying we shouldn't and then kissing her again. She remembers getting in the Uber and feeling like she had done something unforgivable and exhilarating at the same time. He texted her an hour later, I can't stop thinking about you. She did not respond. He texted again the next morning, coffee? She said yes. She has been saying yes ever since. Her roommate Maya knows something is going on but not what. 3 months in, Maya asked her directly, are you seeing someone? Emily said, it's complicated. Maya said, complicated how? Emily said, just complicated. She could not say the truth. The truth sounded too much like a confession. If you want to know what happened next, make sure you are subscribed. I post stories like this every week. Michael never promised to leave Sarah. That is what Emily tells herself when the guilt gets loud. He never lied to me. He never said this was going somewhere. I went in with my eyes open. Except that is not entirely true. He did not promise in words. He promised in all the ways that matter more. He texted her good morning before he texted anyone else. He remembered she does not like cilantro and ordered her burrito bowl without it. He bought her the book she mentioned once in passing. He told her about his childhood, his parents' divorce, the brother he does not talk to anymore. He told her things, he said, that he had never told anyone. When someone gives you their secrets, it feels like intimacy. It feels like you are the exception. It feels like love. She started looking for signs. Signs he was pulling away from Sarah. Signs he was building a life that had room for Emily in it. She checked his Instagram. He barely posted. When he did, Sarah was not in the photos. That felt like evidence. She listened for changes in how he talked about home. He stopped saying we and started saying I. That felt like evidence too. Once, after they slept together in a hotel near the airport, he fell asleep with his arm around her. She stared at the ceiling and thought, this is what it would feel like if we were actually together. She did not let herself think, but we are not. The pregnancy test happened on a Thursday. Her period was late. Not unusual. Her cycle had always been inconsistent. But this time felt different. She bought the test on her lunch break. Walked 6 blocks to a CVS where no one from work would see her. She could have waited until she got home. She took it in the single-stall bathroom on the 3rd floor. The one no one uses because the light flickers. She peed on the stick. Set it on the counter face down. Washed her hands twice. She counted to 60 in her head. Then she flipped it over. 2 lines. She stared at it for a long time. Not because she did not understand what it meant. Because understanding it meant deciding what to do next. She thought about Michael. Specifically, she thought about telling Michael. She imagined his face. The shock. The fear. She imagined him saying, "What do you want to do?" Which is not the same as, "What do we want to do?" She imagined him saying, "I'll support whatever you decide." Which is not the same as, "I want this." She sat on the closed toilet lid and opened her phone. Michael's name at the top of her messages. Last text from him, "Missing you." She stared at it. Her thumb hovered over his name. She did not call. If this story hit close to home, share it. And subscribe if you haven't yet. New story dropping soon. That night she went home and told Maya everything. Not because she wanted advice. Because she needed to hear herself say it out loud. Maya listened without interrupting. When Emily finished, Maya said, "What do you want?" Emily said, "I don't know." Maya said, "Okay. What do you know?" Emily said, "I know he's not going to leave her." It was the first time she had said it out loud. The first time she let herself believe it. Maya said, "So what are you going to do?" Emily said, "I don't know that either." But she did know. She knew the same way you know when a relationship is over before anyone says the words. She knew because love does not feel like waiting. It does not feel like hiding. It does not feel like wondering if you are enough to make someone choose you. She made an appointment for Saturday. She did not tell Michael. She thought about telling him. She wrote the text 4 different times. "Michael, I need to talk to you about something." "Michael, something happened." "Michael, I'm pregnant." She deleted all of them. Some conversations do not need to happen because the answer is already clear. If he loved her the way she loved him, she would not be holding this alone. If he was going to leave Sarah, he would have done it by now. If she was more than a secret, she would not be taking a pregnancy test in a bathroom at work. The affair did not end with a fight. It ended with Emily realizing she had been lying to herself the whole time. She texted him on Friday night, "I think we need to stop." He called immediately. She did not answer. He texted, "Can we talk about this?" She wrote back, "There's nothing to talk about. This was always temporary. We both knew that." He wrote, "I care about you." She almost wrote back, "Not enough." Instead she wrote, "I know. Take care of yourself." She blocked his number. Not out of anger. Out of self-preservation. Because she knew if he texted again she would say yes again. And she was tired of being the person who said yes to things that hurt her. The appointment was quick. Sterile. She sat in the waiting room next to a teenager with her mother and a woman in her 30s who looked like she had done this before. No one made eye contact. When it was over, Maya picked her up. They got Thai food. Sat on the couch. Watched a movie Emily does not remember the name of. Maya did not ask if she was okay. She just stayed. Sometimes that is all you need. A few weeks later, Emily saw Michael in the hallway at work. He tried to catch her eye. She looked past him like he was wallpaper. She does not know if Sarah ever found out. She does not know if Michael told her or if Sarah figured it out on her own or if he is still lying. It does not matter anymore. Emily is not the villain in someone else's marriage. But she is not the victim either. She made a choice. A lot of choices, actually. And the hardest part is not the guilt. It is knowing she would probably make the same choices again if she could go back. Because when you are lonely, and someone makes you feel seen, you will ignore a lot of things that should matter. You will tell yourself stories that are easier to believe than the truth. You will say yes when you should say no. Until one day you are staring at 2 lines on a test you took at work and realizing the story does not make sense anymore. Emily still works at the same company. Michael does too. They do not speak. Sometimes she sees him in meetings. He still wears the ring. She wonders if Sarah knows. She wonders if Sarah stayed. She wonders if Michael thinks about her the way she still, sometimes, thinks about him. Not often. But sometimes. Late at night when she cannot sleep. When she is between someone's. When she is lonely again. She does not miss him. She misses the version of herself that believed she was worth choosing. Subscribe for more stories like this. And leave a comment. I read every one.